For thousands of years, dragons have always been at the top of the food chain. However, dragon eggs are considered a delicacy, hunted by the whole world. After opening his eyes, the male lead was shocked to realize he had reincarnated as a dragon egg. The status board and a guiding voice appeared, announcing, because he's an egg, all of the main character's stats are very weak. The egg's current skill is Guard's Voice level 1. The voice will announce and guide him through everything. Frustrated, the main character rolled himself down from the tree, thereby gaining the fall resistance skill level 1. However, the trade-off was 1 HP, so it was quite dangerous. Ironically, he also received the title Clumsy. Just like that, he continued rolling down without knowing how to steer, only stopping when he almost hit the water. So I can see myself in the water now, how pathetic. Dragon eggs are classified as F-rank monsters, extremely fragile and easily broken. Not only helpless, but the brain is also underdeveloped. All it can do right now is roll and roll. However, after breaking the shell to get out, it can grow into a dangerous dragon. But for now, the egg's fate is extremely fragile. Guard's voice let me know that dragon eggs are often hunted by adventurers. However, they won't dare approach the egg if the mother dragon is there. Currently, I've rolled away from the nest, so no one protects me. Unconsciously, it rolls somewhere else. Thus, the rolling skill increased to level 2. After leveling up, the dragon egg could control the rolling direction. I also accept my fated destiny, just controlling myself skillfully, only to continue falling into a pit. HP dropped to just 3, it was too easy to die, so he had to stop to rest. By nightfall, the egg had recovered as if nothing happened. This time, it rolled slowly with more control. Wondering if he could hatch into a dragon later. Since he knows nothing about this world, information is essential. He thought if his level was high enough, he would evolve like in a game, meaning he had to defeat enemies. But with this pathetic egg shape, he didn't know how to fight. Just then, there was something strange looking in front of him. Curious, the egg peeked to check. It turned out to be a worm. Checking the stats, he knew it was called a black worm. Though weak, it was still stronger than the main character. Plus, this creature loves eating eggs, so he met a natural predator right away. Very quickly, the worm noticed the egg and tried to attack, seeing those sharp teeth. He tried to roll away, but the opponent still chased him, knowing this wasn't good. The dragon egg thought of a way to fight back. However, the monster's HP was higher, so a direct confrontation would surely result in a loss. His only advantage was the fall resistance skill. Coincidentally, there was a deep cliff nearby, so the egg took a gamble. Waiting for the monster to charge, he dodged to the side. Not only that, he kicked the worm, sending it falling straight down. The dragon egg landed on the worm, taking less damage. The worm struggled in its final moments, scaring him. Luckily, it was defeated, helping him level up. The title achieved after that move was Walking Egg. The dragon egg also leveled up from level 1. This is the max level for a dragon egg, so now I can break the shell and come out. Every time the max level is reached, evolution conditions are met. The options given to the main character were small dragon and baby dragon. First is about the future of the small dragon. The size after hatching will be as big as a bear. Adventurers are very afraid of this species, especially since they can breathe fire to attack. Conversely, evolving into a baby dragon is more miserable. This is a favorite food of humans. Dragon meat is extremely fatty and fragrant. Dipping it in sauce is just amazing. Plus, it can't fight well due to short claws and fangs. In return, the potential after muttering is higher, able to evolve into many different types of dragons. But most baby dragons die before qualifying for adulthood. Hearing this introduction, the egg knew he should choose option 1 for safety. But before he could decide, a voice rang out asking him to become stronger. Your only goal is to reach the peak. The voice said it had high expectations for him, so don't disappoint me. The guard's voice skill also increased from 1 to 2. The egg felt confused as that voice didn't sound like guard's voice. At this moment, choosing small dragon means a safe path, but baby dragon has infinite evolution potential. Knowing it would be dangerous, he still made the decision to become a baby dragon. Just hatched, he immediately got the title Dragon King's Son. Thanks to that, other skills simultaneously increased to level 5, and he also received a few more things for combat. Currently, HP isn't full, so he needs to rest and eat. The little dragon thanked the unlucky worm. Thanks to it, he could evolve. Just then, the baby dragon's body reacted to food when looking at the worm in front of him. He felt disgusted, but his stomach was hungry, so he had to eat. This was likely a normal reaction for a dragon. It's all to recover and become stronger. The baby dragon tried to eat it all, but the taste was indescribable. The next morning, he woke up hoping to turn back into a human form, but unfortunately, that didn't happen. The male lead looked at his reflection in the water. He had no idea why he reincarnated in this world. Basically, he's currently living in a baby dragon's body, so he has to try to survive. This world operates on fighting to level up and evolve. He completely lacks any human memories of his past self. He didn't even know what his gender was. Just then, a few hungry black worms came to hunt. The baby dragon confidently affirmed he would be the hunter this time. He rushed in and destroyed the worms easily. The baby dragon's level increased thanks to that. Although small, he could still use dragon breath to burn enemies. After fighting for a while, he received the title melee fighter. So, he unleashed a dragon punch, instantly jumping to level 15. Very quickly, the entire pack of monsters was destroyed. It feels like at this rate, evolution will be simple. However, the necessary thing now is still to eat to gain strength. He didn't want to recall the taste from yesterday. There were some mushrooms nearby, so the male lead decided to switch to being a vegetarian to be safe. As a result, he was poisoned almost to death. Luckily, dragon resistance is quite high, so he was fine. In addition, he received the poison resistant skill. The title Clumsy increased from level to 2-3, truly unbelievable. The baby dragon then went into the forest to find something else to eat because he couldn't stand eating worms. Just then, something ran past. Checking stats, he knew it was a grey wolf level 6. Immediately, he ran after it to attack. Although the opponent was slightly bigger, its stats were weak, so the main character defeated it in a single hit. Wolf meat was definitely tastier than worm meat. Moreover, after using fire to attack, the outer meat gave off a fragrant roasted smell. The yellow dragon just breathed some more fire to roast it completely. When it was cooked, he tasted it and affirmed this thing was worth eating. Add a little shrimp paste and it would be perfect. That afternoon, he continued to choose grey wolves as prey. Level increased from 19 to 20. While the evolution level is at 25, although the leveling speed started to slow down, soon the main character would reach the evolution state. He also got used to controlling fire to roast meat, likely because he had adapted to the dragon lifestyle. The saddest thing right now was probably having no one to play with. Just as he finished the sentence, he suddenly heard human voices. They were on their way to destroy a dragon's lair. Although he didn't understand the language, the baby dragon still ran out excitedly. Hiding in a corner, he thought he was quite cute, and assumed that with his appearance, he wouldn't fear being attacked. Individual stats were weaker than the main character, however, if they combined forces, the chance of dying was very high. The baby dragon popped out, shouting "I'm not an evil dragon," which was funny. Unfortunately, due to the language barrier, how could those people understand? On the contrary, they looked at him as if he was about to attack. The result of his innocence was getting senseless. Seeing the two adventurers attacking, pushing the baby dragon into danger, at this moment he realized his own stupidity. Being a dragon, how could he expect to be liked by humans? Struggling so hard to hatch from the egg only to die here, he was unwilling. Just then, the girl following the two men stood up to protect him. She also used magic to heal the baby dragon. Moved, he cried because he had been saved. Maria's stats also appeared. Her MP was low, but the girl still tried to heal him, which made the male lead very happy. After a while, he could understand the person's language thanks to receiving a skill. Just then, the desperate screams of the two men rang out. That terrible pressure let the baby dragon know an extremely dangerous enemy had appeared. He tried to keep Maria there, but the girl still ran off to save her teammates. Because his body was still paralyzed, he couldn't chase after her. After a while, when he could move, he ran to check the situation. Striking his eyes was a little rock dragon. Although low level, this species' HP is extremely huge. Notably, its size was also very large. After detecting him, the creature turned to look, terrifying the main character. The baby dragon was scared by the rock dragon. That monster was as big as a mountain, so why the hell was it called a little rock dragon? He knew if he approached now, it would be a death sentence, but seeing Maria still alive, he regained his spirit. The baby dragon guessed the large creature would trample the girl, so he wanted to save her. However, the voice in his head told him to run immediately. He knew he couldn't defeat the little rock dragon. But remembering being saved by the girl, he couldn't ignore it. The baby dragon rushed forward at high speed. Thus, he successfully performed the first stomp. The title Evasion King was also added, but that wasn't important. Checking stats, he discovered one person was dead. The other person had only one drop of blood left. The baby dragon devised a strategy to save the two dying people. He attacked the little rock dragon continuously. Truly like throwing an egg at a rock, But it's okay, the baby dragon successfully annoyed the opponent. The plan was to use this to lure it elsewhere. However, the baby dragon didn't expect the opponent to possess a wide area attack skill. Just like that, he was knocked down by rocks rising from the ground. Although out of range, the little rock dragon's earthquake skill was still very strong. Waiting for the opponent to charge, the main character risked his life, jumping up to unleash a fire dragon punch. At first he thought it would work, but earth element counters fire element, so it did nothing. On the contrary, the little rock dragon fully recovered its wounds. Luckily, the creature stopped raging, giving him a chance to take the girl away. With his strength, he could only save one person, so condolences to the guy left behind. Taking the girl elsewhere, he realized her HP was dropping because open wounds were bleeding continuously. The baby dragon couldn't use healing magic, so the best way now was to take her to a safe place with people. Smelling humans, he continued carrying the girl on his head and rushed in that direction. Suddenly, Maria's blood attracted a pack of grey wolves. If normal, the main character could solve it quickly. But because he had to protect the dying person, he was surrounded by wolves, and a bloody battle broke out. The baby dragon opened a bloody path forward, trying to counterattack. The main character's cry woke the girl up a bit, then she fainted again. By nightfall, the main character had defeated the wolf pack, but he had also reached his limit. Fortunately, a human village appeared in front of him. Because he couldn't speak, he stood outside roaring loudly. The monster's sound attracted the young men in the village. They immediately assumed the main character had attacked the girl, so they stabbed him. The baby dragon still innocently thought he could communicate. But how could those people understand the dragon language? Their eyes were filled with killing intent, so he had to leave the girl and go away. Maria was also saved because she was from this village. The baby dragon was in pain with countless wounds. He realized a dragon is still a dragon. Wherever he goes or whatever he does, he's still considered a dangerous monster. So from now on, he won't get involved with humans anymore. The title Little Hero was also added. The scene shifts to a few days later. Maria had woken up thanks to being saved by an older sister. The sister explained her terrible condition, saying she had never had to use white magic to heal wounds so much. Maria had slept for 2 straight days. When wondering who brought her back to the village, Maria seemed angry. She advised him not to cause trouble, yet he still dragged her along. Speaking of which, Maria asked where the other 2 were, and learned that Franz was dead. His body was found in the forest. Wounds showed he was hit by rocks. So Maria guessed they went to provoke the rock dragon. As for Du, he likely died without a body left, as only a pool of blood remained. Maria was sad hearing that because she couldn't stop that guy. The sister advised not to blame herself because Du was the type who never listened to anyone. Generally, he was a kind guy, often playing with the village children. Although he always fought for justice, and was liked by many, his temper was hard, and he easily lost control over others' jokes. They just said he couldn't beat the rock dragon, yet he got offended. Feeling humiliated, he vowed to take down that huge dragon. Friends advised against it, but it didn't work. The next day, he invited Maria along for support. Initially, she refused because the rock dragon was the strongest creature around. Maria warned absolutely not to mess with it. But the 2 still wanted to hunt it whether she went or not. Out of options, Maria agreed on the condition that if it got dangerous, they must return immediately. Hearing the story, Maria thought she almost died because of stupid pride. Just because of some petty words, they pushed themselves into danger. The sister was glad she escaped and returned to the village. Hearing that, Maria was confused because she thought someone brought her back. The sister recounted that villagers found her being attacked by monsters at the village edge and saved her, while before that she was unconscious from the rock dragon's attack. There was no way she returned here by herself. The sister thought she was heavily injured, so her mind was confused. This sentence reminded Maria of the image when she was protected by the baby dragon. However, it was too vague. She asked about the creature next to her, but the sister didn't know. Maria guessed it was very likely the baby dragon brought her back to the village safely. As for the main character, all his previous wounds had healed completely. This is the advantage of being a dragon. As a human with severe wounds, he couldn't recover this fast. He hoped the girl was okay, realizing he was too weak to decide anything. Even though he evolved and felt stronger, it wasn't enough. The battle with the little rock dragon showed that. He needs to hunt, he must become stronger. He used that determination to catch a worm and tie it to a tree. Its cries attracted many of its kind. So the baby dragon rushed in to attack 2 grind levels. He was proud to have thought of a way to lure monsters, even receiving the title Sinner. Sounds cruel, but well, to grind levels, one must do whatever it takes. Just seeing him rushing into a chaotic fight with 7 black worms. The Dragon King became much stronger. The remaining one tried to sneak attack, but was burned by sacred dragon breath. The baby dragon's level increased to 25, meeting the condition for evolution. He ran to the lake to study which form to transform into. This time, the system offered 5 choices, including 3 B ranks and 2 C ranks, starting with mini, small, and young forms. The voice also explained the new evolution forms. Generally, whatever is easy won't be strong. Small is a higher rank version, however, it has fewer evolution choices. As for young dragon, no answer. Small dragon has a physique like an infant dragon, slow growth speed and limited evolution branches. In return, future evolution branches possess great potential, but I don't like it so I'll switch to another. Little angel dragon is the type that lives for others, carrying healing abilities, but low combat capability. White magic is good, but shouldn't be chosen now. Young dragon is the natural next stage of infant dragon. Abilities and physique will be improved. Marble young dragon is a mutated type. Magic will be stronger than the normal line. Young dragon is the early stage of evil dragon specializing in spreading disasters, but if not straying far from the righteous path, it can still turn back. He intended to refuse, but the evil dragon possesses extremely high intelligence. Moreover, it can use the divine human transformation art. That way it can infiltrate villages to do bad deeds. Hearing the name Evil Dragon sounds ominous, but after 2 seconds, the baby dragon realized this was the wise choice. Turning into a human at this point would be great, although the words Evil Dragon sound cruel. Thinking of meeting Maria again, he really wanted the human transformation art skill. So he decided to evolve into an evil dragon. Immediately after, his body changed, radiating an aura that couldn't be more evil. Looking at his reflection in the mirror, seeing a pitch black face, he didn't know if it was okay. Appraisal level increased from 2 to 3. Thus, he can check his own stats. Guard's voice increased to level 3. Also in black dragon form, he can fly. All previous skills transformed to become darker, with the main attribute being darkness. Hearing the explanation of the new skills, he felt afraid of himself. The title achieved was Disaster, which already sounded bad. Even worse, Guard's voice knew about the divine human transformation art skill. At this moment, he realized he had been tricked, but it was too late. In the status board, there was nothing about turning into a human. He had traded everything to fall into the demonic path, yet didn't get what he wanted. The evil dragon was furious, but received no clear explanation. Divine voice skill level 3 still had many limitations. Immediately, the black dragon collapsed by the old tree, wondering whose voice Guard's voice really was. Suddenly, the status board didn't provide that. As for the special skill called Dragon Scale Powder, just spreading the wings releases miasma that weakens norm dragons. At max level, it's strong enough to destroy a nation just by flying past. Hearing that, the main character was terrified. Being careless now could destroy the forest ecosystem. Next is Plague Breath. This attack spreads miasma through breath, causing paralysis and spreading over a wide area. Sounds too scary. He didn't know if any title could salvage the situation. Guard's voice replied by reminding him of the little hero title achieved last time. The courage to save people will one day lead the way to becoming a hero. Likely, this title is a lifeline to avoid entering the demonic path. Next are titles related to the darkness attribute. The more evil, the stronger. Damage caused when using darkness attribute will increase. Conversely, learning white magic will become harder than ever. Hearing the explanation made him want to go crazy, demanding to return to his original form, but couldn't. Guard's voice was like, wrong choice once, go astray 1,000 miles. Scene shifts to Maria's village. The 2 sisters were checking the exorcism stone tablets around the village. To protect villagers from magic beasts, this is extremely necessary. It acts like a protective barrier. Most animals cannot enter. However, if something is strong enough and has strong will, the spell won't work. Hearing that, Maria thought the baby dragon who saved her yesterday was one such creature. Maria didn't see it with her own eyes, so couldn't conclude. If the exorcism stones are damaged now, the whole village will be in big trouble. The sister feared that monster would return for her sister, so she sped up the check. After completing the steps, the younger sister asked the older one to teach her more about magic beasts. Maria felt that since the pain stopped, the sister had been strangely concerned about magic beasts. She also confessed that she thought the baby dragon was her savior. Torska heard that and was extremely displeased. She thought Maria was bewildered by the magic beast, but still told her sister what she knew about them. First is about the evolution ability of magic beasts. They will undergo many evolutions to become stronger. The concept of levels also exists in magic beasts. For humans, when leveling up, stats increase. But for magic beasts, level limits vary by type. When reaching the limit, the magic beast will evolve into a higher tier. Maria was curious why Ancients knew this. Maria said she told her before, but the sister completely forgot. Turns out she told her 11 years ago. Maria said she was 5 then. How the hell could she remember? Returning to the reason humans know about magic beast evolution, it's thanks to the God's Eye skill. People like heroes or saints have this ability. Magic beasts constantly fight to become stronger, so aggression is normal for them. Even if the creature that saved Maria was a dragon, the next time they meet, it will surely evolve into something more evil. At the same time pointing fangs and claws at her. Being threatened like that, the girl didn't like it at all and immediately screamed. The most valuable advice the sister gave was not to trust magic beasts. Back to the main character, after missing the chance to turn into a human, he decided to grind levels to fix his form. I, the Black Dragon, will not be a demon king but must become a hero. The immediate goal is, of course, to learn the human transformation art to meet Maria. While looking for small monsters to bully, he was suddenly pulled back by Spider Silk. A strong opponent appeared immediately. Checking its stats scared him because the Black Dragon couldn't fight it yet. So when attacked by Silk, he used baby dragon breath to burn it, but unexpectedly burned himself too. The damage caused wasn't much, so the Black Dragon continued to rush in to take the initiative. With new claws, he easily slashed the spider continuously. As a result, he successfully took half its blood, but triggered the spider's berserk state. With no other choice, he had to curl up and roll away, because fighting on would highly likely result in death. The spider had poison resistance, so it followed right behind. Remembering he could fly, the main character tried it. But the result was terrible as the wings were too small, very hard to control. Just like that, the Black Dragon had to roll continuously for 10 minutes without shaking it off. Rolling skill also increased from 2 to 3, helping him move faster. However, ahead was an abyss. Falling would mean death. Staying would mean a more painful death. So Black Dragon decided to fly across. Using speed, he jumped and used his wings to catch the wind and glide to the other side. Looking back, he didn't see the spider, thinking it gave up, but no. That creature used silk to make a bridge, successfully crossing. The Black Dragon continued to roll, leveling the skill to 4. Occasionally he smashed some weak monsters and gained experience points. Black Dragon's level also increased to 8. Thanks to that, the main character had enough confidence to play with that monster again. Immediately, the opponent sprayed poison everywhere. Black Dragon had high poison resistance, but was still affected. The spider stood still to observe. He understood it was waiting for the prey to die from poison before attacking. Knowing that, he pretended to be in pain and rolled onto the ground. As predicted, the spider immediately jumped up to finish him. Seizing the opportunity, he used dragon breath to roast the opponent. Then finished it with a tail whip. Level then increased to 14, however, the most awaited thing, human transformation art, was nowhere to be seen. Sad, the dragon went to catch a wolf to eat. Coincidentally, there was a cave nearby that looked quite decent. Evil Dragon asked if anyone was home before entering. After grilling the meat, he added a fruit that smelled like pepper. After tasting it, the flavor was great. The bad smell disappeared. Instead, there was a spicy taste that stimulated appetite. He decided to turn this cave into a home and collect more of those fruits. The chef title was also added. An idea popped into his head to cook for people to increase affection. But looking at these poisonous claws, screw that idea. Even as a cute baby dragon, he got stabbed. Appearing now carries a high risk of being hunted down. He kept going out cursing the heavens for letting him evolve into this pitch black form. Back in Maria's village, in a tavern, an old man spoke about seeing a dragon yesterday. While fishing, that guy passed by but seemed very strange. Others thought the old man was senile. Maria was extremely pensive because she still blamed herself. The uncle advised not to bother because they brought it on themselves. After asking her sister to go into the forest to find the people, she was refused. If that guy was alive, he would have returned to the village. The forest is full of danger, just for information with no basis. Maria promised to ask the guild to investigate. By the next morning, just after brushing teeth and washing face, the evil dragon set a goal for the new day. That is reform to learn the divine human transformation art. But at this moment, he discovered something was watching him. When looking back, his eyes hurt because the opponent was too strong. Appraisal also increased from 3 to 4. However, I still couldn't see the opponent's stats clearly, so I was very scared. Evil Dragon still couldn't imagine what was in front of his eyes. That slime was so terrible that he could only see a little of its stats. And, of course, it wasn't pleasant at all. Immediately attacking, Black Dragon saw the blow and rushed to run away. If caught by that monster, well, this life would be considered abandoned. Later, he lay under a tree panting. Until now, he still felt afraid of the creature just now. That thing is definitely not something to approach. Although its stats weren't very high, well, if it feels dangerous, just run. Black Dragon had to find another path to hunt, not daring to return to the old path. Accidentally, he found a jar that looked like someone left it behind. Curious about what was inside, he sniffed it. As a result, the jar slapped him on the head, causing a bump. The main character was bitter. It turned out to be a B-rank monster. According to info, it was a jar turtle. Black Dragon tried using a fire punch to attack, but it did nothing. Seeing that, he continued using his tail too. Reducing 1 HP, the creature recovered to its original state. Seeing it was cheating, the main character rushed to bite, but it still didn't penetrate much. Black Dragon was furious now, so he decided to let the jar turtle drift away in life. He thought since it lived on land, it couldn't swim, so the best way was to drop it into the water. This idea was a brilliant success, bringing in 36 experience points. Level and title both increased, feeling a bit happier. Surprisingly, at this moment, many other jar turtles arrived. Likely, they heard the cry of their kin before dying and gathered here for revenge. They all jumped up and transformed, scaring the main character. Thought this state must be strong and cool, but no. Those guys could only stack on top of each other, nothing special. Black Dragon saw this scary scene and made a bored face. Just like that, the main character flew up to deal the finishing blow. He used a jar and dove from above, destroying all the remaining ones. Considering their hardness is equal, this method worked quite well. That move helped Evil Dragon gain more skills. Experience points received were 594, instantly increasing from level 15 to 30 and nearly reaching the threshold for evolution. Flying ability also increased from 1 to 2, appraisal from 4 to 5. Hearing this stat announcement, the dragon was extremely proud. Currently not lacking food, so he took the turtle meat. Besides meat, he needs to eat vegetables because they are good for health. Bringing a jar turtle back, he wondered why he still couldn't learn the human transformation art. After walking a while, Black Dragon heard a strange sound. Running to check, he discovered it was the footsteps of another monster. Because the distance was a bit far, appraisal couldn't see specific info. The target's name is Clay Bear, a B-rank monster born from Earth. Because of equal rank with that bear, the main character thought about challenging it. Since he needed clay items, defeating it would solve the need. At this point, taking its clay to fire into bowls and plates would be perfect. He sneaked behind the bear without letting it detect him. Black Dragon climbed a tree intending to sneak attack and defeated in one hit. The idea was good, but the execution wasn't. Black Dragon thought the other one was stupid, but who knew it was smart and immediately counterattacked. A little more and he would have been eaten alive by it. Black Dragon dodged and retaliated continuously. Thus, he had shaved off half the bear's blood. Thought that was it, who expected the other one to flex lightly and refill its health bar. If fighting like this, he would surely lose, so he thought of a way. The moves learned just now couldn't apply to a large monster, so he used rolling speed to stall. This was also something superior to the opponent. The idea was to attack from behind again to drain the bear's mana first. He continued to injure the monster, forcing it to recover. However, this time, the other one really went crazy. The clay bear created a sandstorm surrounding its body, preventing Black Dragon from approaching. Waiting for the dust to clear, it turned out like this. Looking at it made him sick. Didn't want to fight? Because the main character bit it twice. This time it grew spikes on its back to see if Black Dragon dared to stab again. But he discovered that after using that move, its blood decreased. Likely, this is a consumption skill. The monster decided to go all out, shooting sharp spikes as weapons. Black Dragon was quite shocked, didn't expect it to play so big. Besides, he also discovered something about the clay. The main character rushed in to twist the monster's arm. As soon as it separated from the body, the clay became soft and easy to shape. Just like that, Black Dragon molded a clay ball to use the drop skill, like the jar turtle before. To prevent the bear from recovering, the clay ball needed to be reinforced to be stronger. As a result, half of the bear's body was blown away. Experience received was 150, plus 150 from walking egg skill, so total 300. Level increased from 30 to 33. In addition, the move just now counted as a new skill. After all, he used clay to attack. After having the necessary materials, Black Dragon went back to the cave to make household items. To make clay hard and stable, use fire to bake it. While waiting, he went to find food to cook. This time, he focused on finding vegetables rather than meat. Luckily, there was appraisal, so anything strange could be checked. Lightning mushroom has decent value, but eating it causes poisoning and paralysis. Knowing that, I threw it away immediately, not daring to eat. Continuing, he ran into a carnivorous flower. After defeating it, Black Dragon learned it couldn't digest salt. It turned out its root was a big lump of salt. Cooking naturally requires salt, so he decided to take it home to use. Switching scene to Maria, because she was still concerned about the dead people, she decided to go into the forest to search. Although stopped by her sister because she asked the adventurer's guild to investigate, her heart was not at peace. Maria believed the old man's words. And if there was still a chance of survival, she would go find them herself. The girl blamed herself that if she had stopped those two initially, things wouldn't have turned out like this. While grieving, a monster from the bushes rushed out to attack. Maria reacted quickly, successfully destroying it. Back to the main character, he was still busy looking for more vegetables. Better yet, he found a huge mushroom. According to info, eating it tastes like meat and is considered a delicacy. Nearby there was another valuable type. Eating it causes hallucinations and extreme excitement. To put it bluntly, this is no different from drugs. 500 years ago, it was also used to make drugs that addicted many people. Hearing this, Black Dragon didn't think twice and burned the mushroom. At the same time, Maria was facing some difficulties. She had to hide behind a tree to avoid detection by monsters. The Black Dragon continued to add other plants to the menu. He found a fruit that looked like a bunch of grapes, but used as a spice. High value, special scent, so loved by nobility. Trading it for gold might even be possible. Knowing that, Black Dragon tried to take as much as possible to use gradually. By the end of the day, it was a bumper harvest with piles of fruits gathered. Contrary to that joy, Maria was extremely uneasy. She felt scared, so planned to go a bit further then return. By night, the bowls and parts were ready, so he took all the ingredients found today to cook. The first heart part was born, tried it, and indeed, it was indescribably delicious. Adding salt made the meat much tastier. Black Dragon even made chopsticks to eat faster. Slurping up the whole part felt like finding himself again. Chef title also increased from level 1 to 2. Black Dragon realized the bowl just made was a bit hard to eat from, so planned to make another. Since he had materials, making many was fine. This idea helped him gain the Clay Craftsman title. Switching scene to the next morning, guild members were sent to the forest to investigate based on information Maria provided. Deep in the forest, Black Dragon finished hunting. Today's menu features quite tasty wolf meat. He peeled off all the skin and fur, taking only the meat to salt it. After going out to get the drying meat, he realized it had been eaten by monkeys. This was not okay at all, so he found a way to take revenge. Immediately after, I took a lot of poisonous mushrooms and hallucinogenic mushrooms to trick them into eating. He realized lately, whenever he saw a plant, he was curious if it was poisonous. Wandering around the house, he found an area with many flowers. Since he was feeling quite happy, he went in to admire them. Not long after, another creature appeared. The two looked at each other passionately because the other looked quite beautiful. Checking the stats scared the soul out of him. The creature was covered in deadly poison. Its skills included poison fangs, poison claws, and being a poison master. Before he could recover, the opponent hid, but then snuck behind and bit the main character extremely painfully. When knocked away, the other one even smiled, which was cruel. The poison immediately took effect, causing the main character pain. Although he had poison resistance, it wasn't effective. His whole body lost strength, eyes blurred, and couldn't see. As a result, the Black Dragon collapsed on the spot.